it can feel like everyone is selling their own rugged off-road costume for a compact crossover. But Subaru was the first to do it, and they're still the ones doing it best. This is the latest and quite possibly greatest Subaru Wilderness. The Outback was the first Subaru model to get the Wilderness treatment, and now freshly in its 7th generation, it's looking wilder than ever. And then there's this, the Subaru Forester Wilderness. It's not quite as all new as the Outback, but in my opinion, it's the best looking Wilderness model. So which one's right for you, the Forester or the Outback? Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the CarGurus YouTube channel, and you can go to cargurus.com to shop for both of these cars right now. In terms of looks, neither of these is what I'd call understated. The Forester looks more, well, like a regular Forester, but we still have extended cladding around the base, extra ground clearance, 9.3 inches, revised bumpers, hexagon fog lights, smaller wheels, the anti-glare hood decal, a ladder frame roof rack, and all these copper accents. On the Outback, well, goodness, where do we start? Smaller wheels? Check. That's for the thicker sidewalled off-road tires on both cars. Hexagon fog lights, check. Anti-glare hood, check. Ladder frame roof rack, check. And then the differences. More ground clearance, 9.5 inches on the Outback. This chunky grille treatment, look, so you know it's a Subaru. But again, all these copper accents. We have full-length reviews of both of these vehicles individually, so be sure to check those out. But briefly, in how they compare, well, I think they both look like they were designed by a 10-year-old. But the Forester looks less like it was designed by a 10-year-old, so for looks, I give the edge to this one. However, the Outback has this new, more SUV shape to it, and I think that means it's gonna be better on the inside. And certainly with regards to cargo space, the Outback's the clear winner. 34 cubic feet of space behind the rear seats isn't just more than the Forester's 27.5, it's appreciably more than the old Outback's cargo space too. And the story is more convincing when you fold the seat down. The Forester gives you 69.1 cubic feet, the old Outback was 75.6, and this new Outback, more than 80 cubic feet. In the rear seat, it is very close. Both of them have almost exactly the same amount of rear seat legroom. This is set for my height, about 5'11". I have so much legroom, and the roof, while about an inch higher in the Outback, I mean, I don't have to hunch in either of these cars. Now, the new Outback also offers a little bit more hip and shoulder room back here than the Forester, and that was the case with the old Outback as well. But if you've listened or watched our podcast, The Driveway, available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever else you get your podcasts, then you know that our producer, Elliot, insists that the old Outback was actually tighter in the back seat than the old Forester. And so while the numbers bear out that the Outback should have more space today, we're going to use him as our official measuring stick and a car seat. Verdict?
All right, the Outback wins.
So there you have it. If you need to fit 2 adults and a baby in the back seat of your Subaru, I guess you should buy the Outback. Now, I know that the two cars look a little different, but truthfully, the real differences become evident when you're sitting in this seat. The Forester uses a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated boxer 4-cylinder engine. It makes 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque, which is sort of middle of the pack. But the Forester Wilderness comes with a shorter final drive ratio, which allows it to have some quicker acceleration in the low RPMs. That is noticeable when you're just driving around town. It's also pretty helpful when you're driving off-road. The power is sent to all-wheel drive, and X mode gives you special traction management for snow and dirt or deep snow and mud. Honestly, I wouldn't say that the Forester is fun to drive on-road, but it's certainly comfortable, and it's not like that much more ungainly than any other compact crossover. And frankly, when you get it off-road, it whoops the competition. I mean, unless you are shopping for a true 4x4, you are not going to find a vehicle that can go further off the pavement than the Subaru Forester Wilderness. That is, until the Outback enters the arena. First, I like that the Outback Wilderness is available with real leather upholstery this year. That has nothing to do with performance, and in fact, the one we're driving now doesn't have real leather upholstery. It has the StarTex upholstery, but I like it anyways. Now, in terms of performance, the Forester is going to get you to the trailhead and a bit beyond, but the Outback is gonna do it faster. Instead of the base 2.5 liter, the Outback Wilderness comes with Subaru's 2.4 liter turbocharged H4, and it makes 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque. Both cars use a somewhat rubbery CVT, but the Outback Wilderness makes a ton more power, 80 more horses, 99 more pound-feet. And like the Forester Wilderness, the Outback Wilderness gets that revised, shorter final drive ratio for the extra acceleration. It's really it's a delight. It's not like a sports car. It's not even like a fast crossover, but compared to the Forester, it's pretty fun to drive. You're not going to get a low-range transfer case in either vehicle, see the CVT, but the Outback does give you adaptive dampers, which will help the car keep its composure, particularly off-road, and that extra 0.2 inches of ground clearance in the Outback isn't going to hurt either. Fuel economy suffers in every Wilderness trim, but the Outback sucks more gas than the Forester, to the tune of 21 mpg in the city, 27 on the highway, 23 combined, versus the Forester where you get 24, 28, 26. So the Outback won for performance, but what about tech? Because here in the Forester, we have this 11.6-inch touchscreen display. It is portrait-oriented and very bright, and also pretty slow. It also isn't that crisp. I would say just based on speed and resolution, we're not off to the best start. X-mode controls live in the touchscreen, and okay, that can be a little frustrating, but at least there are physical knobs for volume and tuning. And the climate controls, at least some of them, are physical too. Wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto are standard, and you've got USB-A and USB-C ports. But look at the driver information display, the gauge cluster. It's a digital 12.3 unit available as an option only on the Forester Wilderness, not available on other Forester non-hybrid trims. And I really like how it looks. My only problem is that you can't put something that looks like that next to something that looks like that. And in the Outback, they don't. This car has a 12.1-inch touchscreen that is noticeably faster and crisper than the Forester's touchscreen. And the digital gauge cluster is standard on every Outback, not just available on the Wilderness. This screen isn't perfect. It picks up a lot of fingerprints, and quite honestly, the icons and the graphics, they're still not quite as impressive as what you're going to find in some of the competitors, but it is so much faster than the old screen, and it's functional too. I mean, they say that love is what makes a Subaru, but I'd say it's functionality that makes this brand special. And just look at how this screen works and how it has real physical buttons and a nice clean layout. It's like they took real consumer feedback, consumers who were tired of the old tech, and they fixed it in this new Outback. This is what makes Subaru, functionality. Let's catch up. The Outback has more cargo space. It's better to drive. It has better tech. They both have pretty much the same safety tech, and both are IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus award recipients. Now, the Forester has moved to Subaru's plant in Indiana for production, while the Outback has moved back to Subaru's plant in Japan. And then there's the price tag, because while the Forester has always been a little bit less expensive than the Outback, with these new Wilderness trims, the price gap has gotten pretty big. The Forester Wilderness starts at $39,835, including destination, rising to $42,035 if you add the digital gauge cluster, the Harman Kardon stereo, navigation, and the power rear liftgate. The Outback Wilderness starts at $46,445, again with destination, and that's $6,610 more than the Forester, and it climbs past $50K with all the options. So who should buy each of these cars? Well, the Forester offers better visibility, it's a bit easier to maneuver than the longer Outback, and for budget-conscious buyers, well, the Forester is a much better proposition. But if you want the best car, buy the Outback, because it's just a better package for so many reasons, which we've talked about in this video. What do you think? Is the Outback worth the extra cash, or given how capable this only slightly smaller Forester is, has the Outback actually gotten a little too pricey? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and as always, thanks for watching.